And for the end, Thalia said, not thou, no thee, just you. Zoe threw up her hands in exasperation. I hate this language. It changes too often. Grover sighed. He was still looking up at the stars like he was thinking about the light pollution problem. If only Pan were here, he would set things right. Zoe nodded sadly. Maybe it was the coffee, Grover said. I was drinking coffee and the wind came. Maybe if I drank more coffee. I was pretty sure coffee had nothing to do with what had happened in Cloudcroft, but I didn't have the heart to tell Grover. I thought about the rubber rat and the tiny birds that had suddenly come to life when the wind blew. Grover, do you really think that it was Pan? I mean, I know you want it to be. He sent us help, Grover insisted. I don't know how or why, but it was his presence. After this quest is done, I'm going back to New Mexico and drinking a lot of coffee. It's the best lead we've gotten in 2,000 years. I was so close. I didn't answer. I didn't want to squash Grover's hopes. What I want to know, Thalia said, looking at Bianca, is how you destroyed one of the zombies. There's a lot more out there somewhere. We need to figure out how to fight them. Bianca shook her head. I don't know. I just stabbed it and it went up in flames. Maybe there's something special about your knife, I said. It is the same as mine, Zoe said. Celestial bronze, yes, but mine did not affect the warriors that way. Maybe you have to hit the skeleton in a certain spot, I said. Bianca looked uncomfortable with everybody paying attention to her. Never mind, Zoe told her. We will find the answer. In the meantime, we should plan our next move. When we get through this junkyard, we must continue west. If we can find a road, we can hitchhike to the nearest city. I think that would be Las Vegas. I was about to protest that Grover and I had bad experiences in that town, but Bianca beat us to it. No, she said, not there. She looked really like she was freaked out, or like she'd just been dropped off the steep end of a roller coaster. Zoe frowned. Why? Bianca took a shaky breath. I think we stayed there for a while, Nico and I. We were traveling, and then, I can't remember. Suddenly, I had a really bad thought. I remembered what Bianca had told me about Nico and her staying in a hotel for a while. I met Grover's eyes and I got the feeling he was thinking the same thing. Bianca, I asked, that hotel you stayed at, was it possibly called the Lotus Hotel and Casino? Her eyes widened. How could you know that? Oh, great, I said. What? Thalia said. What is the Lotus Casino? A couple years ago, I said, Grover, Annabeth, and I got trapped there. It was designed so you never want to leave. We stayed for about an hour. When we came out, 5 days had passed. It makes time speed up. No, Bianca said. No, that's not possible. You said somebody came and got you out, I remembered. Yes? What did he look like? What did he say? I don't remember. Please, I don't want to talk about this. Zoe sat forward, her eyebrows knit with concern. You said that Washington, D.C. had changed when you went back last summer. You didn't remember the subway being there. Yes, but... Bianca, Zoe said, you can tell me the name of the President of the United States right now, can't you? Don't be silly, Bianca said. She told us the correct name of the President. And who was the President before that? Zoe said. Bianca thought for a while. Roosevelt? Zoe swallowed. Theodore or Franklin? Franklin, Bianca said. FDR. Like FDR Drive? I asked. Because seriously, that's all I knew about FDR. Bianca, Zoe said. FDR was not the last president. That was about 70 years ago. It's impossible, Bianca said. I'm not that old. She stared at her hands to make sure that they weren't wrinkled. Thalia's eyes turned sad. I guess she knew what it was like to get pulled out of time for a while. It's okay, Bianca. The important thing you know is that you and Nico are safe. You made it out. But how? I said. We were only in there for an hour and we barely escaped. How could you have escaped after being there for so long? I told you! Bianca looked about ready to cry. A man came and said it was time to leave, and... But who? Why did he do it? Before she could answer, we were hit with a blazing light from down the road. The headlights of a car appeared out of nowhere. I was half hoping it was Apollo come to give us a ride again, but the engine was way too silent for the sun chariot, and besides, it was nighttime. We grabbed our sleeping bags and got out of the way as a deathly white limousine slid to a stop in front of us.